Very good evening. I am Aishwarya Kapoor with you. Welcome to News Tonight on Rajya Sabha television. All the day's big stories from India and across the world coming up ahead. First, an update on the coronavirus situation in the country, and India recorded the highest single-day jump in COVID-19 cases with close to 20,000 cases on Sunday. The country is the fourth worst hit by the pandemic, reporting over 15,000 new patients every day since Wednesday.
COVID-19 cases in India crossed 5.48 lakh on Monday, with 19,459 new cases reported on Sunday. The country also witnessed 380 COVID-19 related deaths during the period, taking the total number of casualties due to the virus to 16,475. The number of active cases stands at 2,10,120, while 3,21,722 people have recovered. The recovery rate is 58.67%. ICMR has tested about 84 lakh samples up to June 28th, with 1.7 lakh samples tested on Sunday. While the difference between recovered and active cases has increased to over 1.11 lakh, the trend is not consistent yet. If this trend holds for more than 2 weeks, it can then be an indication of the disease having peaked and a decline having started. The average positivity rate, which is the ratio of positive cases to the number of tests conducted, stood at 11.4% on Monday morning. However, there are wide variations in positivity rates between states. If the TPR is too high, it indicates that only the sickest are being tested and a large section of the population could be missing out. Along with high TPR, high mortality is also indicative that a state is only testing the sickest and not screening enough people for COVID-19 symptoms. Even as cases in India continue to rise, the growth rate has been declining. Cases in the country were growing at over 5% when cases crossed the 1 lakh mark, as compared to 3.7%, which is the present growth rate. From 3.12%, the fatality rate saw an initial decline but has increased in the last 10 days when over 2 lakh cases have been added. India's death rate is 3.08%, much lower than the global average. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has announced the setting up of a plasma bank in the city to fight COVID-19. The city currently has over 83,000 cases, and so far 2,633 people have died of the disease in Delhi. India's first plasma bank will be set up at Delhi's Institute of Liver and Biliary Sciences Hospital. Making the announcement, Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal appealed to recovered coronavirus patients to donate their plasma.
प्लाज्मा वो लोग दे सकते हैं जो अभी कोरोना जिनको हुआ और वो ठीक हो गए. जिन्हें कोरोना हुआ और वो ठीक हो गए, उनके खून के अंदर एंटीबॉडीज बनती हैं जो उन्हें कोरोना से बचाती हैं. अगर उनके खून से प्लाज्मा निकाल के कोरोना के मरीज को दे दिया जाए तो कोरोना का मरीज जल्दी ठीक हो जाता है, उसके शरीर में भी एंटीबॉडीज बननी चालू हो जाती हैं. दिल्ली सरकार ने तय किया है कि हम दिल्ली में प्लाज्मा बैंक बनाएंगे. ये अपनी तरह का पहला प्लाज्मा बैंक होगा कोरोना के मरीजों का इलाज करने के लिए. देश भर में ये शायद पहला प्लाज्मा बैंक होगा.
On Sunday, the centre and the Delhi government agreed to deploy a revamped strategy to fight COVID-19 for remapping the containment zones. The number of containment zones in the national capital stood at 421 on Sunday, recording an increase of 141 over 2 days. The 11 districts in the capital have also initiated a health survey of more than 250,000 individuals who reside in these containment zones. Delhi has also ramped up testing since last week. Meanwhile, Arvind Kejriwal also paid tribute to a senior doctor at government-run LNJP hospital who died on Sunday after battling the virus for close to a month. 56-year-old Dr. Ashim Gupta was working as an anesthetist and had tested positive on 6th of June. At least 31 doctors have died due to COVID-19 in the country so far. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. Meanwhile, several other states are also witnessing a surge in cases of COVID-19.
The worst affected state of Maharashtra recorded 5,493 cases in the past 24 hours, taking its total number of COVID-19 cases to 1,64,626. This just a day after the state saw its highest single-day spike of 6,368 new cases on Saturday. Mumbai, on the other hand, seems to be plateauing. With a similar number of tests in May and June, Mumbai's share in the state's overall cases has fallen from 59.49% on May 28th to 45.89% on June 28th. However, districts like Pune, Dhule, Aurangabad, Nagpur, Nashik and Solapur have recorded a nearly 10% surge in cases. Meanwhile, 10 containment zones in Navi Mumbai have been put under a fresh lockdown for a week till the 5th of July starting today. Amid a rising number of cases, Maharashtra has launched the largest plasma therapy trial for COVID-19 named Project Platina. Launching the program, Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray urged those recovered from the coronavirus infection to register on www.plasmayodha.in to donate plasma. Several other states recorded a rise in novel coronavirus cases in the past 1 week. Telangana registered an 85% increase in COVID-19 cases. Andhra Pradesh saw a 47% increase, while Karnataka registered a 44% increase, Delhi recorded 39% increase, and Tamil Nadu saw a 38% rise in cases. A central team led by Joint Health Secretary Love Agarwal visited Hyderabad today to assess the ground situation. The team visited the COVID-19 dedicated hospitals and a few containment areas. Karnataka has also issued fresh guidelines for people coming in from other states. Passengers travelling from Maharashtra to Karnataka will now be required to undergo a mandatory quarantine of 14 days, of which 7 days will be institutional. People from other states will be put under mandatory home quarantine for 2 weeks. The state has waived off institutional quarantine for people arriving from Delhi and Tamil Nadu.
Amid all the news of ill health, disease and deaths, the coronavirus crisis has thrown up some inspiring tales as well. One such positive account is that of an 85-year-old shepherd from Karnataka who has done what many environmentalists have failed to achieve. Here are the details. In the Mandya district of Karnataka, octogenarian shepherd Kame Gowda has dug up 16 ponds to fight the water crisis. The humble shepherd used up his savings to convert a barren hillock in the Sanadodi village into a bed of lakes. Applauding his efforts, Prime Minister Modi referred to him as the water warrior of the country in his Mann Ki Baat radio address on Sunday.
80-85 साल के कामेगौड़ा जी अपने जानवरों को चराते हैं, लेकिन साथ साथ उन्होंने अपने क्षेत्र में नए तालाब बनाने का भी बीड़ा उठाया हुआ है। वे अपने इलाके में पानी की समस्याओं को दूर करना चाहते हैं, इसलिए जल संरक्षण के काम में छोटे छोटे तालाब बनाने के काम में जुटे हैं। आप हैरान होंगे कि 80-85 वर्ष के कामेगौड़ा जी अब तक 16 तालाब खोद चुके हैं अपनी मेहनत से, अपने परिश्रम से। हो सकता है कि जो तालाब उन्होंने बनाए वो बहुत बड़े न हो, लेकिन उनका ये प्रयास बहुत बड़ा है।
Another story the Prime Minister mentioned in his address was how migrant laborers in Uttar Pradesh who worked to restore a river. These are 300 migrant laborers in Barabanki who had to return to their village due to the lockdown. Working under the Manrega scheme, they restored the Kalyani River even while staying in isolation.
यूपी के बाराबंकी में गांव लौटकर आए मजदूरों ने कल्याणी नदी का प्राकृतिक स्वरूप लौटाने के लिए काम शुरू कर दिया। नदी का उद्धार होता देख आसपास के किसान, आसपास के लोग भी उत्साहित हैं। गांव में आने के बाद क्वारंटीन सेंटर में रहते हुए, आइसोलेशन सेंटर में रहते हुए हमारे श्रमिक साथियों ने जिस तरह अपने कौशल्य का इस्तेमाल करते हुए अपने आसपास की स्थितियों को बदला है, वो अद्भुत है।
And asserting that COVID-19 pandemic cannot continue forever, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu called upon people to collectively fight the unprecedented health crisis. In a Facebook post on Sunday, Naidu appealed to the people to stay calm and have a firm belief that no storm can continue forever. He said the government is taking continuous measures to boost the economy and advised people not to press the panic button but reach out for the prevention and protection buttons as the country enters the unlock phase. Apart from the use of face masks, practicing safe distancing and washing hands frequently as the only known ways of staying safe, Naidu also suggested the use of traditional foods, herbal and medicinal plant preparations that have proved to be immunity boosters. He also cautioned people not to get carried away by sensational news or panic-inducing social media posts while asking them to refrain from forwarding unfounded and unverified messages. The Vice President said there could not be an easy or definitive answer to questions such as how long will the restricted lifestyle last and when will we return to our normal lifestyle. He said that we have to probably live with both the uncertainty of the duration of the pandemic and the stress it has induced. And Air India will operate 170 flights in the fourth phase of the Vande Bharat mission to bring back Indians from 17 countries. These flights will operate between the 3rd to the 15th of July.
Passengers will be brought back from the US, UK, Canada, Sri Lanka, Philippines, Saudi Arabia, Russia and Ukraine. Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri said, private airlines will have significant participation in Phase 4 of the mission. Air India will fly 114 flights, while Indigo and Go Air will operate 457 and 41 flights respectively. 38 of these are on the India-UK route and 32 on the India-US one. Air India will operate 26 flights to Saudi Arabia. Indigo will operate 238 flights from Qatar, 219 flights from Kuwait, while Go Air will have 41 flights from Kuwait. Air India is operating 495 chartered flights to various countries in the third phase, which began on the 10th of June. It will end on the 4th of July. The government has brought back 150,000 Indians till date through around 700 flights from various countries.
And worldwide, coronavirus cases have surpassed 1 crore with over 5 lakh fatalities. The virus is spreading sharply in many parts of the world, including the Americas, South Asia and Africa.
The United States continues to remain the worst affected country with more than 2.5 million cases and at least 1,25,500 deaths. On Sunday, U.S. Vice President Mike Pence extended support for coronavirus testing in Texas as the daily number of cases there increased from an average of about 2,000 to more than 5,000 per day over the past few weeks. He also urged people to practice good hygiene amid rising cases.
To you, to the people of Texas, we're with you, and we're going to stay with you. We're going to make sure that Texas and your healthcare system in Texas have the resources, have the supplies, have the personnel to meet this moment.
The situation in Brazil continues to worsen with 552 deaths reported on Sunday, raising the country's death toll to 57,622. Over 30,000 new cases were reported, bringing the national count to over 13 lakh infections. The country is working to revive its economy despite the rising cases. Rio de Janeiro has reopened its stores, hairdressers and beauty salons. Sao Paulo is also planning to reopen restaurants, bars and beauty salons in early July. Britain is considering imposing a lockdown in the city of Leicester after a surge of coronavirus cases there. On Monday, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson said that new cases in the city were concerning and has urged people to remain cautious despite an easing of restrictions nationwide.
We are concerned about Leicester, we're concerned about any local outbreak, And I want to stress to people that, we are not out of the woods yet. It's very important. We're making these cautious, calibrated steps. We're opening as much of hospitality as we can on July the 4th, opening as much of the economy as we can.
Spain has continued the ban on cruise liners docking at its ports until the pandemic is brought under control. Although Spain has reopened its borders to European tourists in an effort to revive the economy. Meanwhile, Poland and France took further steps towards normalcy as they held elections that had been delayed by the virus. Wearing mandatory masks, maintaining social distancing, and carrying their own pens to sign voting registers, French voters cast ballots in a second round of municipal elections. Some countries are experiencing a resurgence of infections, forcing authorities to partially reinstate lockdowns. China has imposed a strict lockdown near Beijing to curb a fresh outbreak. Nearly 500,000 people are banned from traveling in and out of ancient country in Hebei province. In addition, testing capacity has been ramped up to 3 lakh tests a day in Beijing. 60 new cases of COVID-19 were reported in Tokyo on Sunday, the highest number since the state of emergency was lifted across Japan on May 25th. Victoria recorded 75 new cases on Monday, making it Australia's biggest daily outbreak since April 11th. In response, the state has ramped up its testing regime and is considering reimposing social distancing restrictions. However, Prime Minister Scott Morrison has called on states to continue easing restrictions, insisting the country's economy must be revived.
Corps commanders of the Indian and Chinese armies will hold a meeting at Chushul in Ladakh on Tuesday as part of efforts to de-escalate tension on the line of actual control in Ladakh.
According to news reports, Tuesday's meeting will be held at the border point in Chushul. This will be the third Army commander level meeting after border tensions erupted in early May. In their last meeting on the 22nd of June, both sides reached a consensus on disengaging from all friction points along the line of actual control. Amidst heightened tensions at the border with China, the Indian Navy has also increased its surveillance missions and beefed up operational deployment in the Indian Ocean region. The Navy is also ramping up its operational cooperation with various friendly naval forces like the US Navy and Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force. On Saturday, the Indian Navy held a crucial exercise with Japanese Navy in the Indian Ocean region, an area where Chinese naval vessels and submarines are making frequent forays.
On to some other news. The government has unveiled e-commerce initiative Grameen e-Store to promote online ordering and delivery focused at the village level. Aimed at helping citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic, it is providing a game-changing moment to a new breed of entrepreneurs. Details in this report.
The COVID-19 induced lockdown prevented the operation of local mandis, with farmers and growers losing money on unsold perishable produce. However, village-level entrepreneurs are taking online orders for deliveries at doorsteps using the Grameen Store app and an extensive network of common service centers. The CSC Grameen e-stores are aiming to cover all the villages in India with at least one online store and also creating 2 million jobs in logistics.
पिछले कुछ 2 महीने में कोविड जब से आया है तब से लोगों को एक ज़रूरत पड़ी कि दुकान पर जाए बिना उनके लिए सामान अपने घर तक पहुंचाने का एक ज़रिया हो और ग्रामीण इलाकों में इसको करने के लिए कॉमन सर्विस सेंटर्स अपने आप को ग्रामीण ई स्टोर्स में बदल रहे हैं और इस तरह के ग्रामीण ई स्टोर्स देखते ही देखते 1 लाख से ज़्यादा कॉमन सर्विस सेंटर्स ने स्थापित कर लिए हैं.
The Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has also partnered with MeGrocer, a cloud-based e-commerce platform. CSC Grameen Store helps to provide digital solutions to local kiranas, farmers, small and medium food processing industries, even at the village level.
वो घर घर तक पहुंचाते हैं. ये बड़ी तेज़ी से बड़ा ही पॉपुलर सिद्ध हो रहा है और आगे चलकर हो सकता है कि ये एक बहुत बड़ा मूवमेंट बन जाए और इसको हम ई कॉमर्स नहीं कहना चाहेंगे, इसको हम कहेंगे लोकल कॉमर्स, क्योंकि ये लोकल कॉमर्स को बढ़ावा दे रहा है.
As India continues to grow as a digital economy, the Grameen store is expected to provide rural communities with entrepreneurship opportunities and employment opportunities based on digital infrastructure. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
And as part of the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, Food Processing Minister Harsimrat Kaur Badal on Monday launched the Pradhan Mantri scheme for formalization of micro food processing enterprises.
Known as Sapno Ki Udaan, the scheme is expected to generate total investment of 35,000 crore rupees. Food Processing Minister Harsimrat Kaur Badal said it will create 9 lakh skilled and semi-skilled jobs and benefit 8 lakh units through access to information, training, exposure and formalization.
I hope that with the launch of our FME scheme, with top to total for all fruits and vegetables, and with the skill training, in these times, this ministry is working towards ensuring employability. I'm hoping that with this scheme, we will be creating through FME scheme employment opportunities for over 9 lakh people, through our skilling for lakhs more, and through our top to total, millions of farmers are going to make use of this and provide an opportunity to the farmers, to the entrepreneurs, to the industry and to the retailers, and most importantly, bring down the wastage to ensure that transportation and storage facilities are available.
The scheme will be implemented over 5 years from 2020-21 to 2024-25 with an outlay of 10,000 crore rupees. The centre and states will share the costs in a 60:40 ratio. Cost sharing will be 90:10 with northeastern and Himalayan states, 60:40 ratio with union territories with legislature, and 100% by the centre for other union territories. The scheme adopts one district, one product approach to reap the benefit of scale in procurement of inputs, availing common services and marketing of products. Existing micro food processing units can upgrade units with credit-linked capital subsidy at 35% of the project cost, subject to a maximum ceiling of 10 lakh rupees per unit. The scheme has special focus on capacity building and research. Academic and research institutions, NIFTEM and IIFPT, along with state-level technical institutions, will be provided support for training, product development, appropriate packaging, and machinery for micro units. Individual entrepreneurs and other stakeholders can contact state nodal agencies regarding the rollout of the scheme and contact points at the district level.
The Tribal Affairs Ministry has launched the TriFed digital platform to boost trade in forest produce, tribal handlooms and handicrafts. Launching the digital platform via video conference on Sunday, Tribal Affairs Minister Arjun Munda said the initiative is an attempt to ease the burden of tribal artisans and re-energize economic activities lagging due to the coronavirus pandemic. The digitization drive will attempt to map and link village-based tribal producers to the national and international markets. The minister also launched the Tribes India products on the government e-market and TriFed's new website. And the process of auctioning 5 mineral blocks in Gujarat and Karnataka having reserves of 667.2 million tons started from Monday. While the auction of a mineral block in Karnataka started on Monday, the sale of other 4 mines in Gujarat will start on Thursday and continue till 8th of July. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman had earlier announced various structural reforms in the mining sector as part of the over 20 lakh crore rupees stimulus package. Accordingly, each state having mineral resources was asked to identify at least 5 new mining projects for auction with pre-embedded clearance on a pilot basis to expedite the sale process and operationalize the blocks. The centre also asked states to set up a project monitoring unit to complete the preparatory work to obtain requisite clearances, approvals, and related work. An agreement for the first India-Bhutan joint venture hydroelectric project was signed on Monday. The concessional agreement for the 600 megawatt Kolongchu hydroelectric project was signed between the Bhutanese government and the Kolongchu Hydro Energy Limited. This is a joint venture company formed between Druk Green Power Corporation of Bhutan and Satluj Jal Vidyut Nigam Limited of India. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar and his Bhutanese counterpart Tandi Dorji virtually witnessed the signing of the agreement. Both Jaishankar and Dorji emphasized the importance of hydropower development as an important pillar of mutually beneficial bilateral economic cooperation. With this, 4 hydroelectric projects of bilateral cooperation are already operational in Bhutan.
This is yet another milestone in our diverse and multifaceted bilateral cooperation. It has come at a time when our two countries are fighting the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm sure that the commencement of the construction activities of this project will help to create economic and employment opportunities in Bhutan at this critical time. Excellencies, our two countries are together in fighting this global pandemic. The Government of India has provided support, as it should, to Bhutan in terms of medical equipment, kits and medicines as part of RGOB's requirements. Besides continuing with our development partnership, we have also ensured uninterrupted supply of essential and other goods to Bhutan despite the lockdown.
And now the weather update, and barring a few places on the west coast, early monsoon has triggered moderate to heavy rainfall across India.
Several parts of North India, including Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana and Punjab, have had moderate to heavy rainfall for the past few days. In Rajasthan, where monsoon had weakened after reaching on June 25th, it is likely to pick up again. Heavy rainfall is expected in Kota and Udaipur on Tuesday. Torrential rains worsened the flood situation in Assam. Around 9.3 lakh people are affected in 23 districts. 18 people were killed in rain-related incidents. The Brahmaputra is flowing above the danger mark in 9 districts. Union Home Minister Amit Shah assured all central help to Assam Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal to deal with the flood situation.
And that is all that we had for you in this edition of News Tonight. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, take care of yourselves and your families. Good night.